Ciao everyone, ciao ragazzi. It's the Milan-Guys podcast, episode 30, post Milan-Roma. We kind of decided that, after a match, it's kind of a great time to talk with Milanisti, especially after a win. Milan-Roma, 2-1 Milan, huge win in the capital at the Stadio Olimpico. I'm here with TMG Umbi, TMG Mark, and TMG Mike. Mike, how's it going, man? Long time. I don't think you've been on the podcast for 6 years.
This is the perfect time to make a return, man. After an incredible game, to say the least, one of the most entertaining, annoying back and forth games I've witnessed in recent time from the Rossoneri, but it was all worth it at the end, right?
No, exactly. I totally agree. TMG Mark, you here? All right, he's not here. Awesome. Thanks, TMG Mark. And TMG Umbi, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
No, we can't hear you. Not here.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Mark.
We can't hear you. Guys, this is a huge
Yeah, I'm
win.
here. Can you guys hear me?
No, we
Yeah.
can't. We can't hear you. Guys, this is a huge
I'm here. Can you guys
Yo,
hear me?
you're echoing, Marco. What's going on over there? Oh my god, what the hell's going on? Okay, that was
Like a summary of the first 10 minutes of that game.
That was the first 10 minutes right there. I think Marco's in a windstorm or something over there. I'm not sure what's going on. Andrew, big win from Milan. Huge win, Andrew. Like massive 3 points. I mean, how many times have we seen Milan drop points? To Roma, Lazio. Back in the last 5-6 years. Huge. TMG Mark is gone, so who knows what's going on over there. We'll just keep it going. Show must go on. You know what? We'll go with some quick thoughts. TMG Umbi, what do you think? Just 3 quick thoughts on the match. 2-1 Milan win. What do you think?
Number one thought, I'm happy Pioli showed us his balls and decided to drop the worst player on our starting XI today for arguably our best defender since January. Or should I say best center back? Actually, no, I'm going to stay with best defender since January. And, Hakan again, not helping himself out with a terrible performance. And, Pioli's shutting up some Milan fans right now. He's doing some good work. Today he had to prove it. And he did big boy moves. Up some Milan fans right now. He's doing some good work.
Okay, honestly, I think we're gonna have to kick Mark off the pod because he's just echoing. I'm not sure what's going on over there. I think he's here, but okay. What's your third thought on the match, Ruby?
The third one was that Pioli actually. Yeah, the third one was that Pioli was actually did something right today. Like he must have been reading Milan Twitter lately.
Yeah, no. If you read Milan Twitter, we'd be in relegation zone. Screw that. No thanks. No grazie. If you read Milan Twitter, and before we even start the show and what we're going to talk about, for all of you who tweeted out that Rebic shouldn't start a big match, are you guys crazy? Like, are you actually nuts? Rebic is the best option we have, especially on the left side. He's aggressive. He's quick. He looks like Khabib. And there's nothing wrong with playing Rebic, especially in a match against Roma, who we know they don't have a great defense and I wouldn't say their midfield's fantastic either. And you saw in that first half, Rebic, every time he ran after them, they were scared. Pretty simple to see that, I think.
Yeah, you can't not start Rebic.
No.
He's our best option by far on any wing.
Yeah, if Rebic is healthy.
You're starting him. He's starting.
You can't start Rafael Leao. He gets tired after 10 minutes of running.
He's too busy in the studio.
He's in the studio. Dude, he's a spark plug. He's the guy for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I wish Leao was a spark plug, but unfortunately, he's a spark plug missing some wire, some connection to him. What's wrong with that guy?
All his efforts in the booth right now.
We'll go to TMG Mike. TMG Mike, let's go with 3 different thoughts you had on the match, different from Umbi. What do you think?
I apologize. I'm gonna steal one of his because I completely agree and it'd be harsh not to touch on it. Is Pioli having the big Paulinis, the big cojones, the big cojones to drop Romagnoli, the captain, and start Tomori. It is kind of funny, like we're saying, you would think that he was listening to me on Twitter this entire week, but all jokes aside, obviously it ended up being the right decision. Does this suck? Yeah, because Romagnoli's been here for a while. You want him to see him do well. He's been through the trenches with us, so he's the captain as well. But at the end of the day, it's about performances, right? It doesn't matter what player you are on this team. The Milan of the past only cares about performances, and that's kind of inherited in our DNA. It's not banter anymore where it's, you could be playing terrible and just score one screamer in training and you get to play the next 10 matches. No, I don't care who you are. If you're not performing, you don't step on that pitch, or at least you don't start for that matter. It was good to see Pioli do that. Obviously, it was a big risk for him regardless, because if Tomori drops a stinker, then, everyone's going to be in riots, and then, should have been Kalulu or whatever, all this kind of crap. Number two, I love the energy they came out with. Obviously, in the first 10 minutes, which I'm sure we'll probably talk about, I'll just say something quick about it. Obviously, it was an insane start, had 3 goals all ruled off, but it was the approach and the mentality they went into that game. They didn't, wait for Roma to score to kind of wake up and then ease themselves, or have a Pioli Ibra halftime death threat speech. They came out hungry and they came out ready. And the third thing I would praise this match is their control. After Vertu scores a great goal, they right away are looking for the second. We were talking, we need a third, obviously, because that's just the Milan thing. We always need 5 or 6 because we can never be safe with a 1-goal lead. But I was really impressed how they handled holding the lead in the dying minutes, parking the bus. It's not easy to do. We've seen Milan concede so many goals, in the dying minutes. We still do, but it was very nice to see them control the game. Roma had some chances at the end, but overall, they executed. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, you know what? I think I agree with both your points. I think, and I love Romagnoli. Like, I'm a big Romagnoli guy, and I still am. Like, I'm not prepared to sit here and slander, the Capitano, who was, here since. I'll never forget when he debuted. I think it was against Sassuolo in the preseason. It was like a preseason, the stupid tournament.
Oh, the Coppa Italia.
No.
Coppa Team.
Copa Team. And it was like in August. And I remember he debuted for it. Like, wow, like Romagnoli, from Roma, 25 million. And, he's grown. You can see he's grown. He's matured. I think, ever since he got hurt, he's been pretty poor. So obviously there's a pattern there. There's something to the injury. Maybe he's not 100% still. Maybe his body's. I know I'm not going to make excuses for him, but obviously the way he was playing is not like him, because he's always been our kind of our rock.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm not.
Yeah, he's been our Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think also
here.
too. Sorry, I'm just going to throw this in since we're on the topic. I think. Sorry, I think this is something that we've been all kind of saying for a while now, where it's like obviously Thiago Silva left well before Romagnoli came on, but we were always saying, when Romagnoli joined, I think it was 2015 or 2014. Yeah, 2015. At the time the kid was young, like he had a lot of promise, but he needed that anchor beside him. I hate but like a Chiellini or a Bonucci or for that matter, Thiago Silva, like someone to show him the ropes, someone to be like, hey, I've gone through this. I know I'll show you the ropes and kind of pass on the torch. Whereas, to his credit, he's had to do that on his own, and that's why he was doing so well for so long. And even prior to the injury with Kidd, like they were starting to form a really good partnership. We were like, okay, this is our center back combo, like it's working. And then I guess after the injury, again, we don't know if that's harping him. Is he just in a bad rut of form? We don't know. Hopefully he gets out of it and start performing, because at the end of the day, as great as Tomori's been, and hopefully we'll be able to have the funds to redeem him, at the end of the day, if we're aiming for Champions League glory, right, or rather to be in the competition, you need, as we all know, a great rotation of center back. So whether Tomori ends up starting, you still need to have Romagnoli or Tomori on the bench. Romagnoli starts for your Coppa Italias, for your Super Copas, for your Champions League matches. You need the good rotation. So hopefully he can pick up form, because we still need him. It's not, oh, hey, Tomori's here, sell Romagnoli to fund Tomori. No, we need to keep both, and hopefully Romagnoli picks up form. That way we can have a deadly rotation, because Kier, Tomori, Romagnoli, and I guess I'll throw in Kalulu and Gabi. Everyone forgets that Gabi is back too. Like, that is a really, like, if you really think about it, that is pretty damn solid, considering the absolute meme defenders we'd have over these past few years. So like this is some, and then obviously don't forget Teo, Calabria, Kalulu. Dalot's crap, but nonetheless, we'll find someone. But you know what I mean? Like Milan's defense has been terrible for years, and now it's honestly one of our strong suits.
It's finally,
I'll throw in
fixed.
Donnarumma there as well because obviously he's part of the defense, right? He's obviously incredible.
He saved us.
So that's what I'm saying, man. If Romagnoli could just get out of this funk, oh man, we'd be so set defensively. But I still got hope for the guy. I got hope.
I'm not gonna. I don't like on Twitter how people just slender. They're very quick. Like Milan Twitter is very quick to go after players, right? Like that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Milan, there's a lot of big expectations. So if you play one bad match, like you're gonna get. Like you look at a lot of players, right? When Benacer started at Milan, he like a lot of people said. I mean, and to be fair, like. You know, Twitter is for free opinion. Like, if he's playing bad, Milanisti are going to say, don't start this man. Don't put him on the field. And when Benacer started, you know, he was yellow card merchant. Every game, he got a yellow card. Picked up a yellow card. And it was okay. Like, maybe this guy isn't as good as we thought he was from Empoli. But I don't, like, and even Kessie, too. Like, how many people wanted to sell Kessie? Before,
right away.
Like, everybody
they were both crap when they came.
Yeah, you're right. But I've always loved Kessie personally. I've always thought he's a very important player, and I always said that you don't sell guys who can play 60 matches for you every single year.
Kessie is an Iron Man.
He's literally an Iron Man. He's literally an Iron Man. He plays 60 matches a year, and he's very resilient. And man, did you guys see today when it was late in the match, and he got the ball on the left side on Pioli's side there, and he was like walking with it, and no one took the ball off of him. Like it was just like he just walked and just chipped it over the guy's.
You know what it is? He's not even that he's super technical. Like he's great with his feet. Like obviously he's not world class with his feet, but he's a guy who knows what his strengths and weaknesses are. So he knows that, hey, I can't dribble off around everybody, but he's incredible at shielding the ball. And to your point, Luca, about talking about like stealing the ball off and no one could take it off because he's so good at shielding, but also using his body.
Yeah, no, he is, and that's where he's strong, and like I think Veretout is a good player for Roma. Like I think he's a very good midfielder.
Yeah,
and again,
he should be in our midfield.
Yeah, we could have got him. Remember, it was a battle between us and Roma.
I swear. I remember reading Milan won the auction.
Yeah, we actually did. I thought we did too, and then
Roma were in Champions League that year, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, and we weren't. Simple as that.
Obviously.
But I think having a guy like Kessie, you know, against a midfield like that, like, you know, like VR was like a pretty atrocious for Roma today, like Gonzalo VR.
Yeah, I was surprised.
It was kind of like men versus boys. Like I think Kessie and even Tonali had their way with him, and with Roma they play a different formation where they play a 3-4-2-1, and they were playing like the without Dzeko, they're playing
with Borja.
They're
playing with like a false.
They were playing with Borja as a false nine. And with Mkhitaryan and Pellegrini kind of like feeding off of him, it just didn't really like they created some chances, and that's going to happen when we were attacking so much. They're going to create some chances, but in terms of their flow of attack, they didn't really have that much against this Milan defense. And to be honest with you, might be a hot take, but I wouldn't put Kier or Tomori in my top 3 players of the game today. I actually think they played all like amazing. I thought they actually made a few mistakes, and they actually lost some of their men that just we ended up not conceding from. I think that Calabria and Hernandez were actually the 2 best players in the field today, like aside with Kessie, because with Calabria, Spinazzola is a very good player. I think he's going to start for Italy in June at left back. And Calabria kept him pretty much quiet. Like even the commentators said a lot of times, like Roma has yet to get Spinazzola in the match. And Calabria, he also saved Rafael Leao's butt when I don't even know what the heck Leao was doing. He passed it back to no one in particular. And they went on a 3-on-2, and then Calabria got back and took the ball away. And even Teo Hernandez, like every time he got the ball, like it was like Roma said, okay, you're gonna get the ball, just let him run because we can't get him. Could have scored a couple goals too, Teo Hernandez.
Yeah, you know what it was? Honestly, it was it was something that Milan's kind of good at, and they're kind of not good at. It's weird. because Milan's either really good at playing on the wings or they're absolutely
Very,
dreadful.
very bad.
And it's weird because you see a game like today, Calabria absolutely bossed the right hand side. Teo, same thing. Tactical, like, he's really good at, how Serie A works. He's really good at when he kind of loses the ball falling and getting the call from the ref. I don't agree with it, but it's just how the sport is. Everybody does it. It would be hypocrites to say that they don't. But you're absolutely right. Sorry. The wing play was incredible. And the funny thing is, Rebic also was on the wing. That helped. Salamakers did really well as too. Thought he had a good game. Definitely, taking him out, obviously, just to rest for Wednesday. But overall today, in comparison to other games, our wing play was amazing, and Roma had no answer for it. When I noticed when we kind of went through the midfield, kind of like laterally straight down, it was a little bit tricky because they kind of threw 2 or 3 guys at Kessie and Tonali, which obviously makes sense. It's kind of what their game plan is. So credit to the players and Pioli as well, for recognizing that and kind of abusing what's working.
Ciao, guys. Yeah, that's actually a great point, because also, like, today it worked out fine, but when it doesn't work, we go through the middle, and the middle never works out, and that's the problem. Once our wings, they're having a fantastic game, we're striving, we're like doing amazing. But if they don't do well, then we can't go through the middle because we got Kessie, we got either Miete or Tonali. Like, it just doesn't work, and that's our problem. Is that we should figure out a way to work through the middle, not just rely on the wings, because Thursday we couldn't do much on the wings. Today was a different story, though.
Yeah, I think like Fonseca's setup just didn't. I don't know. Like, they just didn't.
They didn't press.
Like it was.
I'm surprised.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That first half, Milan's attack, I think that is the best.
That was the best first half we've had all season long.
Yeah, I think that's the best performance attacking wise we've had. Even when other halves,
even better than than when we beat Inter when we were up 2-0.
Yeah, but even when other halves, even against like the smaller teams, when we scored 2 or 3 goals, we didn't attack like that. That half, we should have had 5 goals alone. 5. Ibra, like, if you look on FootMob,
Ibra's a chooch.
Okay, relax. Like, no,
donkey.
Man, listen,
should have done better.
Yeah, should have done better. However, you can tell that Roma's backline had absolutely no answer for him. Like, legitimately nothing.
No,
like,
of course not. But like on that back heel, he kind of should just turn around and with his left and put it in. But
no. You know what he should have did? He should have just passed to Çalhanoğlu behind him. That's what he should have done.
Knowing Çalhanoğlu, he would have sent it to Mars.
Yeah,
I'm gonna back you on that because
Elon Musk would have found the ball over there in Mars.
Alessio Luca Rosca, Forza Juve, Milan with the okay. Thank you.
Michele, play that video.
Alessio, you're really cool coming to a Milan podcast. Like, what's
it's a classic Juve thing. They always have to quote, air quotes steal, right? They always have to steal someone else's
point?
It's just in their DNA, right? They have to steal everything.
That's how big Milan is now, man.
Yeah.
Or that's how big they are still. Not now.
Let's go.
What's that Juve?
How was the Hellas Verona game? I heard you guys had an absolute howler.
Actually, they should have lost that match.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Was it Barak or was it? No, honestly, yeah, I think it was like, I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago with Gattuso, we played a 4-3-3 with Suso and Hakan.
I don't know what we played with him, man.
No.
We threw 11 guys on the field and said
no. We played 4-3-3, but we used to have Hakan as a left winger and Suso as a right winger, and you know that Milan would have a good game when they're switching the ball to each other. It's just how it is. But now it's like you guys said, it's the wing play. Like Salamakers today, that's classic Salamakers. That's how he was. That's how he usually plays. Like, that's what he did for the first half of the season.
It's a guy that runs.
Little 1-2 plays that they do because Milan's wingers are really they're kind of pacey. Like, they got pace, but they also got dribbling as well, right? So they're like, you saw Leao kind of going with that. I think it was his first attempt on goal. He kind of juked out a few Roma defenders and shot. It was kind of weak attempt. It was central to Paolo.
It was beautiful feet.
But it was incredible build-up play. Like we were saying, obviously it didn't go and it sucks, but the play is encouraging, right? It's
sorry,
great.
Go.
No, I was wrapping up. Yeah, no, it's just great. The wing play. Hopefully it's more consistent. But I would also like to see a bit of improvement laterally going straight down the middle, like we're saying. Just to have more of a dynamic play that's not predictable.
Yeah, no.
2 things, if I can just say something real quick, Luca. What was the first one? Michele was
You mentioned the dribbling with the layup.
Oh yeah, the dribbling with Leao. Yeah, tell me that wasn't a flat. Like it didn't give you flashbacks from when he scored that 3-1 or that 1-3 against Fiorentina. Like he started off on the left side a little bit, nice little tiki-taka through them.
Yeah, it was a beautiful. That was a really dark match, though, to be honest. So,
and second, playing through the middle with this formation, it's so incredibly hard to now, which I'm like, that's why I feel like the wingers, like if the wingers have a shit game, that's when you know Milan's gonna lose.
Agree.
Because this formation, it's so similar to like you look at teams like play like 4-3-3s and stuff like that. They all have like what's called now as like an attacking number 8 or as an attacking number 6 now, which like it kind of forms into the formation that we're rocking now. But when you have someone like Kessie and Tonali who aren't really playmakers, they aren't really dribblers in their feet, you got to depend a lot on the wingers, and that's what's been helping us a lot this season.
I think Tonali could turn.
He could,
and I saw a comment earlier. Tonali slander, which is definitely what I want to talk about because that's absolutely absurd. I think it's a great match.
Lately he's been solid.
Yeah, and I noticed he performs really well in the blue kits, but nonetheless, that's
true because he's Brescia.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, the thing about Tonali is, and like for example, we were talking in our chat, like that play with Diaz, he should have passed it to him instead of Leao. But obviously, it is what it is. Those are mistakes he's gonna make. He's gonna learn. It's one of those things with Tonali. Like right now, it's kind of like
growing pains.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this as the most B-Tech version. Okay, I don't want no one thinking I'm comparing. I don't want no one thinking I'm saying they're gonna both be the next. But let's just take this in comparison. The Zellers, the Target, whatever part of the world you're from, think of your most poor store. Kessie is like of that Gattuso Grinta, I'm gonna foul you, win the ball off, and Tonali / Benacer could be more the Pirlo, the distribute. Problem is they're nowhere near both of those players' levels, just making that clear. But with Tonali, right now he kind of takes the ball and just beelines it down the pitch and kind of just leaves the ball to Hakan and Ibra, somebody, which is fine because obviously that's what Hakan's there to do, but he's too busy doing nothing. But the fact of the matter is, if Tonali can like kind of take that ball and start maybe him throwing down a through ball or him being the creator, he'll seriously take that next step. Right now, like I said, he's kind of just running down and giving the ball to whoever's next. But hopefully, he can grow into that because if he does, he'll be a serious midfielder. Like midfielder for us. But in time.
Yeah, in due time. And the issue is
Tonali slander's stupid. I'm sorry.
No,
it's absolutely undeserved. And like we said, I'll make this super quick so we can pass on the topics to other people in here. But also, I'm just gonna say, like you said earlier, Luca, about Kessie and Benacer being terrible and Benacer being a yellow card merchant when he first joined. It's funny how we gave these guys 3 or 4 years, give or take, and Tonali, who's coming off as a sub and having to start infrequently or coming in at the 70th minute, is expected to just be at their level. Like, it does not work that way. Give the kid time. Stop writing him off because he's going to be good. He's going to be great.
Yeah, and like, to be fair as well, he has been given, like, coming into the season, he probably wasn't supposed to play as many games as he's played already this season.
Absolutely not.
Because Ismail Benacer has turned into an absolute Band-Aid that every time he plays, he gets hurt. So that's something to monitor because literally, what is that, three injuries this season already?
I think Pioli screwed up putting him in that last game. I don't think he was healthy.
Dude, but how are you supposed to get help? Like, how are you supposed to get some minutes under your legs? Like,
you don't start a player unless, especially someone important as that, unless you know he's 110% healthy. You do not take risks.
But he was training with the team for a long time. He was It's so easy to second guess that because then if you throw him into the next match against Inter and he sucks, people are going to say, oh, Pioli should have given him some minutes last weekend. So it's so easy, in my opinion, to say
it is as well. Yes, like I do agree with you, but I think right away that if you start someone who just came off an injury, and like you said, he's trained with the team a little bit, but when he has to get subbed off, when did he get subbed off? The first half or the beginning of the second?
It was it was around both, give or take.
Yeah, it was 40 something, maybe like close 50s or something.
Yeah.
My problem with that situation,
like that, he had to get subbed in the last 20 minutes, get some freshness under him. Don't give him the pressure to start. Don't put all that in him.
I think you're both right. I think you're both right and both points are valid. If I'm going to be the mediator here, I know it's easier to say it now because obviously the games have happened and we see the results. It was like, oh, see, it's kind of not fair to anyone in that matter. I think the real problem is Milan in itself in terms of the Benacer situation in this, and I'll explain why in terms of realistically, if he's kind of inconsistently unfit and you kind of want to throw him into a game, right? Like especially a game against our former Europa League opponents, right? Like realistically, that's a game Tonali and like Mate should be starting because the opponent's a lot weaker and we should be able to take care of them no problem. But Milan's problem is that they can't take those games lightly because we end up almost losing those games. So unfortunately, we have to throw out our best lineups, and it costs us. So realistically, in that game, Tonali and Mate should start, and then with 20 minutes left, you throw in Benacer just to get some fresh legs and warm them up for the next game. The problem is, like I said, we're not strong enough to do that, so we have to throw out our first class lineup out against little teams, and then we end up paying for it. So
yeah,
if we can
100% agree with you there.
Teams, obviously, like we know how it said, yeah, you can't underestimate the little teams, because they're hungry, they got nothing to lose, and they're honestly sometimes the most dangerous teams to face. But realistically, and this is Milan's problem where they're going to have to get better, is the squad/bench depth, where you can rely on guys on the bench to play and it being no problem. Like Juve, for example, as much as I hate them, they're absolutely deep. Their midfield kind of sucks, but realistically, at the end of the day, it still works. Bentancur can come off, or Artur can come off, whatever, and they have guys to come in, and it's just plug and play. Like Mate, aka The Weekend, is terrible. Tonali's still growing, and if Kessie's an Iron Man, right? So he's the only consistent one. So he's always kind of playing with someone else. Kind of sucks for him too, but thankfully he's that good that it just doesn't affect him somehow.
Yeah. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I'm worried more about like the Romagnoli situation, hoping he gets back to form, and I'm actually really worried about Rebic, Hakan, Ibra injuries. Like to lose. That's why this win means even more to me, because when you lose three guys like that in the first 65 minutes of the match, and you're able to pull together and win the match, away to Roma, they're right behind you. It's a big gap. I think our gap is it 8 points now? I believe.
Yeah, this was breathing.
Yeah,
to Inter?
Roma.
Roma, it's 8.
Roma, 8.
Roma,
Yeah,
it's
so
8
it's
or
8,
9.
and then Juve, I think it's 7, I believe.
Yeah.
They have a game
Juve's-
in hand. But
Juve is -10 from Inter.
yeah,
so
but it kind of keeps us on pace. And again, we need the goal was top 4. We need to keep getting points. As simple as that. Let's go into the comments now. Ry Larson has said, suddenly Milan snap back to form when everything looked the darkest. It's true. It was pretty dark, and this win was huge for confidence, for everything.
First win in a while.
Yeah. What chances do you give Milan versus Manchester United? Okay, I'll start off with this one.
I'm going to be very negative here.
It's a good question. It's a very good question. Obviously, when I was looking at the draw, I didn't want United. I didn't want Spurs. I didn't want teams
An English
flying
team.
off. I didn't want. No, I would have took Arsenal, to be honest. But honestly, the Milan are not the favorite in this tie. I'm gonna be I'll be freaking point blank with you. I think United are a better team than Milan right now. I think we're more limited than they are.
I think they're United's favorite too to win it.
They are, and I think that and you gotta see this too. United spend 300 million per transfer window. We spend 2.5 million. So there's a difference there.
On a good day.
Yeah, on a good day, we usually spend nothing because we're loans. But I mean, obviously, it's calculus, it's football, it's Europa League, anything can happen. But Milan are not the favorites. I think that, and we're gonna have a podcast before the tie with a couple of United fans as well to talk about it. But I truly think that United, they have Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, a lot of good, Anthony Martial, and Pogba. They have a lot of these good quality players who can change a game when you make one mistake, kind of thing, right? So Milan are going to basically have to play a perfect match, especially at Old Trafford. I think the first leg's in Manchester, so they're going to have to snatch an away goal number one. I think United have a weaker defense, so there are going to be there's going to be some goal scoring opportunity, especially if Ibra's fit. I think Ibra can definitely cause some problems to Maguire, and I don't think he's good at all. So I think Ibra can cause problems. I think Rebic too. He's very physical. I feel like he can match up to some of those guys very well, and I think it's going to be a very tough. Put it this way, I wouldn't put money on Milan to win that tie. I mean, again, anything can happen. Milan have a different type of pedigree in Europe historically. I'll bring it on to Mike. Mike, what would you say about to Ry Larson's question?
I'll keep it short as best I can. I think we're all gonna have similar opinions. Obviously, I don't want to pull United. I like Kier's attitude saying I'd rather play a big team, which, if we want to be in the Champions League next year, get used to it. You're going to play. That's what the competition is, the best of the best, right? Can't always have to face team names that are like basically Wi-Fi passwords. You want to win, you got to face the best of the best, right? So this is a good stepping stone. I kind of get flashbacks from 2 or 3 years ago when we faced Arsenal in the Europa League and like Çalhanoğlu scored that like one goal away at the Emirates. And then I don't even remember how the tie ended up, but obviously we got knocked out.
That was kind of like the penalty on Welbeck there when no one touched him.
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah,
like Bruno Fernandes is gonna get revenge for United, how Kaká did to them back in 2007. So I'm expecting Bruno Fernandes to drop an absolute
masterclass.
They're obviously dangerous up front. Again, their weakness is in the back. I guess kind of similar to like ours in a sense. It's one of those things where I'm not really confident in Milan. And I think, United are going to take both games. And like you said, Milan has to play a perfect game. The thing is they have to play 2 perfect games, which I don't know if they have in them. The thing is, I'm not going to 100% guarantee United because, as we know, especially the Premier League teams, they could be pretty inconsistent to it. United haven't had the easiest of seasons as well. They've had their struggles. So it's definitely going to be a good matchup. If Milan honestly can come out with the attitude and the grinta and how the play they came out today against Roma, especially in the first game at the Old Trafford, they obviously give themselves a chance. It's still going to be hard, but I can live and die happy if they give that type of effort and style of play over 2 games. And if we can ended up beating Bounce, you say, you know what, they're more of a quality team. It was expected, but at least the approach was good. If they come out and like sleeping over 180 minutes, then I'm going to be pretty damn annoyed. At least go out with a fight and show, you know what, we deserve to be here. We're just not at your level yet. And that's hopefully what Champions League money will help us get next year,
Yeah, we have to make it. But
that's
I think is that kind of what you would say too, Umbi? Is it kind of like the same stuff as we did? Or?
Basically, I'm just gonna read out some of the odds from a betting website right now. The outrights right now to win the Europa League are the 3 English squads: United at plus 300, Tottenham plus 4, Arsenal plus 700, and Milan at plus 800.
Oh, okay.
So, we're 4th favorites. We're ahead of Roma. We're ahead of Ajax as well, that have played in the Champions League recently. Then you go look at the first match in Old Trafford. Milan's plus 450 to win that.
Yeah, so, it's tough. I mean,
it's underdogs.
In Europe, it's different, right? Like you don't.
Here's the thing too. Don't forget this, because now Man United, they got Crystal Palace next. They got Man City. Then they have us. Then they have us. Them, and then they have us again, and then Leicester.
Oh,
but
geez.
now, I'll tell you, we got Udinese Wednesday, Verona, Manchester United, Napoli, then Man U again.
That's tough too.
I'm gonna look at this and say that ours is tougher just because Milan has all that like United is United. We know they're gonna spend 300 million euros in the summer. Milan has to. Yeah, Milan has to win. Milan needs to get top 4.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, me too. It doesn't matter if United get tough with it. Honestly, I think United could just miss relegation. They still spend money.
And the Premier League, the guys that work there are geniuses. They get huge TV rights. So even if you finish in like 20th, I remember reading I don't know how true it was. But it was like a post I saw on Instagram a year back or something. It was like the 3 relegation teams in the Premier League make more than the Serie A, Bundesliga, and Liga and champions.
They do. It's crazy. I think La Liga too. To be honest, I'm pretty sure they don't make that much either.
Yeah,
it's incredibly marketed very well. Like I personally don't think the of football is that great. I think obviously because when you have like a mainstream league like that, it kind of gets overshadowed the actual quality. But at the end of the day, all these leagues are all different styles, so it's kind of hard to compare, and it's kind of based off the nationality. Like back in the day, like Serie A was like you know they base it off the national team, like kind of Catenaccio style, whereas everyone knows you had to be more defensive. The Bundesliga is just going to be Bayern and Dortmund, or maybe
Bundesliga is just going to be 9 goals a game. Always spam the over.
Liga is kind of the same thing. La Liga is kind of. Is it going to be? Who's
La
going to
Liga is all
surprise?
Spanish football, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
who's going to
it's going to be
surprise you away from
different.
Barca and Madrid? Who's going to be kind of the dark horse? So all the leagues are different. So it's honestly going to be really interesting. It's going to be also nice too to see two giants clubs historically.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
and
it's going to bring me
going
back.
like honestly, I want to advance, and it'd be nice to play my high school team instead because it'd be an easier win. But at the end of the day, like I said, man, if you wanna roll with the best, you have to beat the best.
Gotta play with them.
Running away from a fight. So let's take them on, and you know what? This is a learning experience because hey, you know what? This could be, even if we get knocked down, we make the Champions League next year. At least these guys kind of have, some of the guys who've never been there have the experience of playing in a big Premier League stadium with the lights.
Mm-hmm.
It's good practice for next year, right?
Yeah. Two things I really like before we just move on, like two little quick tactical things that I really like, is that unlike the last time we played a Premier League team this far deep in a European competition, Milan actually have a real number 9 playing for them right now.
And that's the thing. We hope Ibra's
He's
back.
gonna. We hope. Hopefully, he's on Sanremo.
I mean, I hope he was still there. I mean,
Rino Gaetano.
Yeah, he's on Sanremo. Is it true that him and Mihalovic are singing together?
Probably.
I was gonna say now because the commentator even mentioned it. They're saying that if Ibra, because he's going to be in Sanremo tomorrow.
Yeah, if he misses Wednesday, if he misses
a game because of Sanremo, dude,
he's not.
He's not going to.
He shouldn't. He should not.
No, he's not.
He's not.
He said he's bringing a personal trainer and stuff. Which, listen,
I'm all for it.
It's kind of weird because we grew. We're not even that old, but we grew up watching the players. Or kind of different personalities, whereas modern day times it's more about the business and business side, brand exactly, right? So listen, if honestly, if there's one person who's not going to be phased by missing a few days and comes back and is able to play and score, it is Ibra. If it was like Leao or like Romagnoli, I'd be like, stay to Milanello and just join them via Zoom call, right? But listen, if there's one person, honestly, who's capable,
is going to be unfazed by it. It's
going to be Zlatan.
Yeah,
how he is, right? So
we got you know what? We got another question as well. I don't want to leave anybody hanging from Mark.
Would you start against Man U?
So, Mark, I don't want to get crazy into it because we're going to do a podcast with a couple United people before the two ties. We'll probably do it before the first one, probably on the Wednesday, maybe March 10th, I believe that is.
March 10th is March 11th is the first game now.
Yeah. But we do the podcast a day or two before or whatever. Smart. But I think a guy like Tomori has to start. He knows how these guys play.
He knows. That's exactly what I was going to say earlier.
He's actually good buddies. He's good buddies with Rashford and stuff like that. He knows these guys. He's physical. He trains with these guys. He knows their moves.
He's grown up in the Premier League system. He knows that it's a big counterattack. He knows that if you lack pace, you're going to get burned by these guys. Yeah, especially if you watch any United game, it's Rashford. Rashford changing between striker and winger, but you have him and Martial that will just bomb down the pitch. You'll have someone like Bruno, who's the modern day version of Kaká, who can make something out of nothing. Really,
Tomori can match them on pace too. Romagnoli's too slow, man. I think it's all those cigarettes that he smokes on the offside.
He doesn't smoke cigarettes.
He does. Yeah, go look at the pictures on him in the summer. But nonetheless, that's beyond the point. The thing about Tomori is he's strong and yet he has pace. He's the absolute modern day center back.
Yeah, he's a modern center half. Yeah.
Back in the day, used to look at the fossils of Chiellini and Bonucci, right? And these are guys that can barely run, but they just know how to throw their body around, and they obviously made a career out of it. But
but they also know positioning.
You know what I mean. But now today's you got to be physical. And you got to be fast to match up with these guys. These guys are running look at Davies, look at Mbappe. These guys are running faster than cars half the time. Someone's got to keep up with them.
Well, you're right. Whereas when Romagnoli and Kjaer were together, there was no pace. Now we have Kjaer, and then we got someone with pace. So I think Tomori complements Kjaer better.
Who the hell is Kjaer?
That's how he pronounces it.
Does he play for Milan now?
Oh, you got to see the interview where he says, "My name
Oh
is."
yeah, it's like,
Simon.
I think it's Kayer or something like that.
Kayer?
Simon.
I think it's
Kayer.
Kayer. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just sorry, Marco. I'm sorry. I had
Kayer.
to say who's Car.
No, or anything. I swear, check out the interview. But
No, I know.
that's the thing where I think Tomori just overall better, and I'm gonna bench Romagnoli from now on because I just feel he doesn't have the pace and even the strength. Like you see Lukaku, like he's just so much stronger than
Yeah.
Romagnoli.
Oh my God. Could you
Yeah.
imagine?
Seriously.
Could you imagine someone like Cavani now going up against
Hey, but
Romagnoli?
to be fair, Lukaku's strong against every center back he plays against. So like that's a kind of a like.
I
Lukaku's
mean,
just
but he
good.
makes Romagnoli made Romagnoli look like a rag doll.
He
Yeah,
made
okay,
Romagnoli
yeah,
look like someone
yeah.
that plays on the Triaria soccer team. Luca, come on.
Okay, but
He made him look like Ivan Leo, like the house builders. Luca, come on. And
He
you
made him
know
look
it
like
perfectly.
prime
no, but
Bonanno.
listen,
Like Francesco
but listen-
Mirabelli. We all know.
And Mark's laughing, saying Simon Carr.
Tell me, you go on here, you got to pronounce it right, man.
It's
Simon
it's
Carr.
I think it's Cayenne. I think it's what he said.
Listen, I don't care what his name is. He's solid.
He's solid.
I'm laughing too hard. I'm laughing too hard.
You know what
He
the
puts
thing
in
is?
solid
He
sevens.
loves Milan. Like he's been saying, this is his goal to like get here. And like, you know what? It's very rare to see those type of players because of Milan's fall to be like, you know, they always say how historic club we are and wear our jerseys an honor. But like, you know, when you're talking to the press about this is your goal in your career, like to play for Milan, and like you actually perform, not just kind of, you know, talk the talk and not walk the walk. It's really impressive. Like I've honestly,
He's also older.
Yeah, and I've grown to absolutely love him.
Love
Like
him.
it's he rarely puts a foot wrong. Like the most obvious one was like last year when him and Romagnoli kind of the bogged heads and Ronaldo goes on that easy breakaway, right? Like that was kind of embarrassing. But realistically, like he just throws his body, like classic guy in like hockey, for example, just throws his body at the puck and like does not care what he breaks.
He'll block a shot. He'll put his face on a puck.
And he's also a vocal leader too. I think Romagnoli sometimes is too quiet. Like you literally hear Donnarumma like yelling 24/7 the game, like, and he's the goalie. Like obviously he oversees everything and he's insane. But like you gotta have that oomph in your play too. That you wear the armband. I think he does too, but not enough.
Well, then here's a question.
Not enough.
If Romagnoli stays in this form for the rest of the season, would you give the armband to Gigio?
No, you can't do that. No.
100,000,000%.
No.
Okay, wait. Luca.
Luca, you got to think.
No. Luca, give me. I want to side with you, so give me a reason as to why.
Okay.
Why
wait, hold on. Just to confirm, the question was if Tomori if he doesn't start every match, like he only start like.
Let's say next year we Milan make top 4. We redeem Tomori. Are you keeping Romagnoli as captain next year?
Like, okay, I heard the question was, would you take it away from him like this year kind of thing?
Regardless,
but I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd like.
I wouldn't take it away this year. I would take it away next year.
We took the captaincy away from Montolivo. Okay, listen. Montolivo deserved, like, he wasn't good. But Romagnoli, it's so unfair to say, like, he's been so good for us in our dark times for 4 years.
But so was Montolivo his first couple of years with Milan.
Yeah, okay, a couple of years. But
Romagnoli's been crap for 2 years.
Yeah, but he hasn't. No way. No,
I think 2021 he started downfalling, right?
So after the injury. It was after that injury. Okay, listen, and I like to read articles. I like to see interviews as well. Remember when he got hurt? I believe it was against Cagliari? No, it was against Sassuolo in July. He got hurt against Sassuolo in July, and he was supposed to come back. They said, about a month. He didn't come back. So he got hurt in like mid-July 20th, let's say, around there.
He's probably not even playing 100% right now.
No, but he didn't come back until the derby in like October 10th. So he was supposed to come back at the end of August. They said, he's going to be ready for next season 100%. He did not come back until the derby in October 10th, or whatever the heck the date was for the first derby. And that was the first match he played. That's like, and then he said, there was an interview with him. And he said, it looked good, but then as time developed, like the doctors kind of said like that it got worse, or they misdetermined how serious it was.
Okay,
And
let me pose a question. Because I'll be honest, I really don't care about Romagnoli's injury because at the end of the day, they're professionals. They have to get over it.
yeah, you're right. But
Wait. In terms of the captain's armor, because I think it's really important. Let's say the renewals kind of go shaky with Gigio again because of Raiola, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't get privacy to that. You can't.
Wait, let me finish.
They steal the Gigio. Say it's done.
Let Michele speak.
What if one of the incentives to keep him, even though I don't think this needs to be a thing, but let's just say it's a thing. To keep Donnarumma, you take the armband away from Romagnoli and you give it to Gigio. Are you doing
1,000%? 1,000%.
Oh, sure, yeah. If it's
okay, so then this debate's over because that's probably what's going to happen.
Okay, but what if that doesn't happen then?
What do you mean? Like if
Romagnoli doesn't happen,
then plus Valenza, baby.
No, it's not. Okay, I don't want. No, there's no plus Valenza. What do you mean? There's no plus Valenza at all. Because if Gigio leaves, he walks for free. So there's no plus Valenza. It's just a freaking loose.
Gigio's on. Isn't Gigio until?
No, he's done this year.
This year.
Oh,
he's
this
done. Him and Hakan Çalhanoğlu, if they leave, walk off. That is 25. That's 22 million euro wasted.
I don't care about that kebab merchant.
Oh my god, dude!
I don't either. I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Guys, it's so hard to say that you can't stand him though. When he was
no, it's not hard. It's very easy. He's shit.
In the biggest games, he's performed
ever since he came back from COVID. He's been bad.
Stop with this COVID stuff. Basically every Milan player has gotten COVID.
No, but not all of them are sick.
Issues, bro.
Not all of them are sick though.
I don't care. I'm sorry. If something serious is COVID, then tell them that you can't breathe on the pitch and they won't play you if it's that bad. No, I saw. Then don't play. Don't play.
Okay, but then he went off with an injury today. So is he like? What's going on?
I think he just.
You have to remember though, it's sports. Like they're gonna protect their players. They can easily just say he came off with an injury, but they don't want to make it seem bad to the press during a renewal that Pioli just thought he had a shit first half and he wanted to take him off.
See, I don't know about that. It's okay to make a change at half. It's okay to make a change. No, but if you said the 28 minutes,
when you're trying to renew a player, you have to be very strategic with what you do.
I have to give.
You have to be
go ahead.
I see what you mean.
Realistically, especially with Donnarumma, right? Like Milan basically does their captaincy different than other teams in terms of how long you've been at the club, right? Donnarumma's been here forever, even though some people think, oh, Ibrahimovic can get it because it's Ibra. No, Donnarumma's been here forever. That's kind of how Milan does their captaincy, right? Same thing with Romagnoli. Sure. But let's just say, right, for branding purposes, for whatever, right? It makes more sense to give it to Ibra. But in the back of your mind, you're like, no, let's give it to Donnarumma to show him, hey, we look at you as a pillar and as a future captain. So we're going to constantly give you the armband throughout the season. Maybe you don't even think he deserves it, right?
No,
but
wait,
it's a little.
He
does deserve it. He does. What I'm saying is, it's the tactics of renewal.
Who had it today? I totally forgot.
Gigio.
Gigio.
No, we did have it. Okay.
No, dude, anytime that Romagnoli's out and Donnarumma's playing, he has it. There's like no. And then I believe if Donnarumma were to get subbed off, I think. You know what? I think it is Calabria, but I thought Simon Gayer had it.
No, it's always been
one match.
Calabria's a third.
No, Calabria's been there, but I think Kessie too. Yeah.
They've given it to Kessie.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah, as a sub. When someone got subbed off. Yeah.
He's one of them.
Channel logo. 2020.
He's shit, man.
2020 is great. Listen, he was.
Your enunciation of players today, Marco. Is...
No, Marco. I'm gonna back you on this because he doesn't deserve to have his name pronounced properly. Continue.
Yo, listen. That's
Hakan in 2020, guys. He was phenomenal. He
was this summer. He was amazing.
No, that's exaggeration. I'm sorry.
In the summer right now, he was our best number 10. He was an amazing number 10.
Dude, in 2020, he had the most chances created in Europe.
Behind De Bruyne. Not the most.
Yes, he did. He was more than De Bruyne. And Bruno.
I have the same issue with Çalhanoğlu that I have with Leao. Two guys have insane talent, Okay, I wouldn't say Hakan doesn't have work ethic. That's harsh. He does. Leao doesn't. But they're both the same player in the sense that they're wildly inconsistent. And if they were consistent, they would both be world class because Hakan has the capability, he has the skill, and he has the form, the experience to be a top number 10 at Milan and honestly one in the world. The problem is he's super inconsistent. Same thing with Leao. Everyone talks about how Milan were amazing at scouting him because they talk about this guy being the next, whatever. Problem is the guy is filled with talent and he doesn't have work ethic and he's lazy
because he knows it. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's
and I saw someone tweet us.
right
I don't know who it was. I'm gonna go find it. But someone said he's like when I tweeted out today that Leao doesn't have work ethic. Someone said he's just been too comfortable with himself, and I agree. But I'm also gonna put the blame on Milan too.
Yeah, but you ever hear
in that comfortability, there has to be some form of accountants towards it. Like someone has to keep him in check about that. Because I'm tired of hearing Pioli say die, bravo Leao for like walking 4 paces. Like seriously, this is professional football. Like if I have to encourage you to like run and press a guy when that's Milan's thing, Rebic you don't have to tell. Castilla you don't have to tell. Salamanca you don't have to tell. Those guys you don't have to tell. They do it. That's part of the tactic. They do it. Die Rafa. Like it's annoying. It's what do you need? A good angel and a bad angel on your shoulders? I don't understand what's wrong with him.
But here's the problem: Rebic is going to be out for who knows when.
Okay. No, he might not. He might not be. Like the fact that it
looked pretty bad.
But usually when a player doesn't go to the dressing room, they stay on the field and they just sit there. Like I'm usually not too worried.
Because if they do like tests on him later on, they figure out, he's going to be out for like 2 weeks or something like that. We're going to have Leao playing for the next 2 weeks. So we're going to have to see him not even like running on the field. Because today we've seen him, he's not pressing. And I was flipping out. I'm like, he has to press. That's why I like Rebic a lot. Listen, Rebic can be having an awful game, but the guy's still working. He's still chasing.
That's why Salamanca starts every single game. That's why they don't buy a right winger because they know he's going to be like a fifth he's going to be a fifth defender. He's going to be like a fifth second right back.
Especially when you have Teo pushing up a lot, you need someone. Even obviously Calabria has to stay back because Teo pushes up, but it's smart.
You see their heat map. Yeah, you see their heat map as well. It's like Rebic is the same amount of time he's in the offensive. I'm gonna say it in hockey terminology, in the offensive zone. He has the exact same heat map as he does playing as left back.
Yeah, he does, and I trust him. I trust him to always give 110% effort. He's just one of those guys that he puts his head down and he works, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so, like if he doesn't score, you know that he's still
always doing something.
You still see him. You always see him. You know what I mean? Like there are times where the players that just fade away. And you'll never like a guy like Rebic is very valuable in my opinion. And even you can even compare it to other sports, working like a couple Canadians here. You can even compare it to a guy like a sport like hockey. Like guy cannot score for 5 games, but he plays a part in those 5 games. Like, you still see him.
He always provides something.
Like Salamanca.
Yeah, that's why I like. The thing is, also
that's why they're not going to buy a right winger for a while.
And also, but to Castillejo too, because Castillejo's been like he's kind of average. But the thing is, I've noticed he's developed a defensive game. Now, is it incredible? No. But I would much rather have someone constantly run back and try. It's like in basketball. You don't block the shot, you alter the shot, right? It's the same thing with Castillo. Sure, he doesn't win the ball maybe as much as Rebic, but at least he's there putting a body and disrupting, the opponent. Whereas like someone like Leao just literally lets them run by.
Yeah, and then you have and then you see in the chat here, just don't want to leave anybody hanging, right? So like Mark said, he thought Hakan was good, but he's dip form, and I agree. I think that he dipped form after he came back after COVID, which kind of makes sense. I'm gonna go to Ry Larson, who says he's sick of Castillejo. There's not, to be honest with you, I actually like. It's fair, but I actually like Castillejo as a person. I think he actually loves the club. I truly do. I think that he when he goes on even for 5 minutes, like he does run. He doesn't stop running. I think that he's just not very strong. So that's why when you see his body language, I think that's how he is.
It would be incredible if Milan could buy a proper right winger and have Salamakers as the bench right winger. That's what I like. If you really want to take that next step, like if they can get Thauvin or however you say his name for
Yeah, he's
free
good.
this summer,
Florian Thauvin.
and you have Salamakers as his replacement instead of Salamakers being the starting. And like we said, Milan do a lot of rotations because of competitions, right? So it's not like Salamakers like, hey, buddy, like, listen, you're not going to be playing anymore. No, you are going to play. We have like a big rotation. And these guys start to understand those things once you start getting more competitions and doing well. They'll be like, yeah, this is a team sport. This is my role. And if I do my role well, maybe I'll just play the Champions League or the things, but I contribute to the success. And I think Salamakers is that guy. If you can sell Castillejo for like a bit of money and take that and, I don't know, pay off the debts for the new Milan studio or the new Casa Milan purchase, by all means, go ahead. But if you can get a guy like Thauvin for free and keep Alexis on the bench and have that too, we're solid because the left side's pretty solid. Rebic and Leao kind of intertwined. Teo's a staple now. Left side's Hauga as well. Like
he's a wolf right now. No one's seen him. I was expecting to see him actually play today.
He actually cut his hair.
No, he was warming up today, like in the 70th. I thought, okay,
you know what? I want to go to this next question. Very, very interesting question from Alan. Listen to this, and I don't want all us to talk about it. I don't want all us to talk at once. So I'll go one and one. I'll go 1 and 1. So
we'll do you, Michele, and Marco, then me.
Yeah. Would you guys renew Romagnoli's contract or save the budget for Tomori and let Alessio leave for free? Marco, I'll go to you first.
Okay, all right. I think Romagnoli needs to stay. Even though he's in a bad form, I think having him as a backup is better than other center backs out there. We had Musacchio. We had so many other guys in the past. And I still think even if Romagnoli's in bad form, he's better to have as a backup than most out there. But, of course, I'm going to have to say, Tomori's going to start. But, you can't let Alessio Romagnoli leave for free. No way.
Well, I think I'll kind of chime in here, and then I'll get the other two guys in here. But I think that like Simon Kjaer is older too, so you can't I think that you can't give up on Romagnoli. Like there's no way. And like Mike said like 25 minutes ago, if you have Romagnoli, Tomori, Gabbia, and Kjaer, that's a great four. That's a good four. Like I would like to keep that four. Moving on, personally. I'll go to Umbi now. What would you say to Alan's question?
How would I answer it?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, Romagnoli, like you mentioned earlier, he's been with us from the beginning of the dark age to now. Like we saw his highs, we saw his lows. Like obviously, I'd like to keep him, and the main reason is because he is an above average left-footed center back.
That's big.
He's a left, how we're saying Kjaer is aging and anything could really happen right now. Like he's what, 33, 34? Kjaer?
I think he's 33, yeah.
33. He's one injury away from potentially not one big injury away from saying, okay, I've made my money. Let me just hang with my family. I'm not going to put myself at risk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If Romagnoli can improve on his long ball abilities, I think him and Tomori can be amazing together. But I think Romagnoli has to become more offensive. He has to start using that left foot for what a left-footed center back should be doing with it.
You know what? It's actually weird because earlier in his Milan career, he used to play a couple balls through the channels and break lines. That's what Romagnoli did for a while, and it kind of stopped ever since Pioli and Giampaolo came in. Giampaolo then Pioli. I think I honestly think maybe it's part of the tactic for him to I don't know if you noticed, Romagnoli, his first ball is Theo all the time. He looked at Theo.
It's either Kjaer or Theo.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'm okay with that if that's the game plan. You have to think too, we're just sitting on our couch. There's obviously a plan. They watch film, right? They know what the tendencies are of the other team, what their midfield is doing, how are they shifting. So I think that, I agree with everybody's point to be. I think to answer Alan's question, all four of us are kind of saying that, and I'll get Mike in too, but kind of agreeing that, we'd want him to stay. Mike, what would you say?
This is a very good question. First of all, I'd like to say, I think I think it's indicative of today's game in terms of Pioli having to make a big decision. And I think this is a decision Milan's also going to have to come across to. In the ideal utopian world, we make the Europa League. We have more than enough money to renew Romagnoli and keep Tomori. I'm not going to get redundant, but like we were saying, obviously to keep all of them because we have a really solid bunch of defensive guys. It's just, it's hard because, again, like we said, I'm going to agree with all of you. You keep both. Tomori's solid. And we still have lots of faith in Romagnoli. So yes, I want to keep both. I'm gonna kind of answer his question because I feel like we've all kind of deviated from the main purpose. I would only ever let Romagnoli go if it's a stupid, insane offer. Like some Premier League team throws the house at him and they're like, "Here's 75
like a Kaka type of offer."
Yeah, 75 million for Romagnoli. Yes, please. I'm taking that because I can easily promote Gabbia, and I can also find someone else in the Serie A that already knows the league and well enough. Or you can find you can try to find another Tomori type individual, right? But the main goal to build a Milan team, because people also need to remember, constantly changing players is not good. The reason why Milan's been doing well is because we finally had some form of consistency. So number one, with the coaching. Number two, with the management and the head office. It's not constantly changing every 6 months. And number three, the players. They're starting to form chemistry. They understand how each other play. When you're constantly shifting out players, it's very hard to adapt to how you play, how I play, and integrate into our system. So the best thing for me is to keep the consistency. So I would love to keep both of them. And I think Maldini and co understand that, and they will find, hopefully, and I think they will find any way to keep that, because Tomori is also young too. And Romagnoli's not that old. He's what, 26, 27? He's still,
I think he's like high as 27.
He's in a slump right now, but if he can get out of this entering his prime, hopefully today's a wake-up call for him. Who knows, right? Who knows?
Yeah, I think today was a big slap in the face for everyone that thought, like Romagnoli, who was our Iron Man. He's always played the most amount of minutes.
But listen, it's not a bad thing to have Romagnoli sit when he's in poor form. It actually shows
exactly. That's what I'm saying right now. That's good. That's a slap in the face to everyone.
Milan are actually getting a bit better because they're able to sit him in a game against Roma.
You gotta make sure you play, or else you're getting benched.
Put it in perspective. 2 years ago, let's go to Gattuso's team where we finished 1 point in the Champions League. Romagnoli's in piss poor form. He's in brutal. We're playing Roma, big match. A lot of Champions League implication on it. Romagnoli's playing bad, but are you benching him? No. There's no other option. Now it's like, oh, you know what? To be honest with you, I'm actually comfortable with Gabbia playing. I mean, obviously he came off a big injury, so he'd have to get some minutes under his belt first, kind of thing. Maybe with the Primavera, or I don't know. Maybe in the international break, he plays against one of those Serie D teams. They have a friendly or whatever, just to get some minutes in his legs. But I'm actually comfortable with him too. So I think that it just shows more depth, and it's just obviously I think Milan's midfield needs a bit more depth, in my opinion. But again, depth is what Milan.
Sucks that we didn't get Bakayoko, man. Yeah. That would have been perfect.
Imagine we had Bakayoko, Kessie. If we had Bakayoko, we wouldn't need to get Mite, right? We'd have Bakayoko, Tonali. We have Tonali and Benacer.
Look, I read a quote right now.
Sure.
There's no time to waste at Milan. You have to play well now. If I don't play well, Milan will sign another striker. It's the same for everyone. And that's a great quote in this situation with Romagnoli, because I think it's a wake-up call for Romagnoli. And I do think, and I hope he does come back in form, but it's it will motivate him more to work harder, because he knows, he's the captain for many years. He knows that, he needs to step up to the plate, because if he doesn't, Milan will sell him no matter what. And I do think they will sell him.
Okay, we'll see. We'll go into the next. Arnaud Mikel says, you can't have Leao, Teo on the left, especially for some of these running backs. Oh my God. Against these right backs like Hakimi and Karsdorp.
Wrong sport, wrong football.
No, I know, but I agree. I honestly agree, because when you're playing against a guy like Hakimi, you can't have again, Leao doesn't track back and Teo's always pushing up, so you'll get burned every single time. And I think if against a Juve like a Chiesa, he could burn you too if he's playing that right wing back role, right? So it's kind of, to be honest with you, I actually totally agree with that point. I'll send it over to Mike next and kind of see what he says, but I actually think that that makes complete sense to me.
Makes 100% sense, because our left side is arguably the strongest in terms of the wings. We know Teo, like we said earlier, likes to push up, so therefore you sacrifice literally a defender. And if Leao's being lazy on the wing, our left side is completely non-existent because we know how Teo is when he pushes up. It's either some great run, he has a chance on goal, he scores, or we end up scoring because he distributes the ball, or he loses it and it's an insane counterattack. So if you have Leao also being lazy on that left side, he can't. And that's why today I was a little confused. I think Pioli took a big risk with it. It ended up working out, and it kind of sucked, when Rebic got hurt. But realistically, Rebic has to be the left mid, and Leao's got to be the striker. Because Leao, I know, his pace on the wing is great, but I would rather him start central and drift to the left rather than him start on the left and kind of have to force his way into the middle, because I don't think he's capable of that yet.
Yeah, that's fair. And then Arnaud also said that his stupid agent Raiola will not renew the contract unless we offer some insane salary. Are you talking about? You're talking about Romagnoli. He's with Raiola too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate. The problem is with Raiola. I think Umbi loves him, to be honest. But I think
that's who I aspire to be. Are you joking?
Dinner's at Giannino.
He's a Giannino merchant. Actually, to be honest, I kind of wish Maldini.
I would love to be a Giannino merchant.
No, honestly, man. To be honest, I don't know if you guys caught this, but that fist pump by Maldini in the stands after the match, that got me fired up.
The fist pump, the hug.
It shows that these guys.
I got the same vibes from when Teo got the winner against Lazio when they were celebrating. Same vibes.
Yeah. I love that though. When they showed Maldini, he had it was a double fist pump, 2 fists in the air.
Analyzing.
I'm analyzing.
I love it. I love it.
Pump, looked at Masada, freaking COVID hug, and then he and they get a COVID hug with Gazidis too. He's a bald merchant and freaking
Lex Luthor over there.
Jeff Bezos.
He's part of Milan now. That's why
since we're on the topic, you want to know why it's working upper management? Because everyone knows their role. Gazidis' issue, I don't know fully, but I know enough of it at Arsenal. He was too in tune with the player purchasing and the technical stuff in terms of the actual football. Whereas I think, and it's clearly showing, his strong suit is in the business branding, marketing type area. Because he just is really good at making a global brand. As you see, the deals he's been striking with Milan, okay, it's cringe, but it's business, like the Fortnite thing. It's stupid for us people, but it does a lot of stuff. The stuff with Rock Nation, that's stuff we would have never done in the past. Yeah, and I know at the end of the day, we're all guys who are more concerned with what happens on the pitch rather than off the pitch, because we always only care about the results. But as we said earlier, in today's day and age, what happens off the pitch in terms of the club brand truly does affect what happens on the pitch, because it helps you get more money, which means to sign more players and all that kind of domino effect. So Maldini overseeing the technical stuff with Milan's head scout. I can't believe I'm blanking out his name. If you guys remember his name.
Oh, is it
Moncada? Yes.
Moncada.
Thank you. Yeah. And then Masada, whatever the hell he does, I know he just smiles when we sign players, but he's clearly doing what he does.
He does something.
And he does something, and Gazidis he knows his role, and that's why it's working. We don't have 4 guys trying to do the same role with Leonardo, Maldini, Minabelli. So no one knew it was a clown show. Chairs are being thrown at Casa Milan at 11 o'clock at night. At least everyone has a position, and they're doing it well.
Yeah.
So it's being reflected on the pitch. So
yeah, Alan also, we're gonna wrap this up soon, but Alan said he's scared of Leao's laziness, and he reminds me so much of Niang. Yeah, hey, bang Niang, come on. Hey, you know what? Niang's career would have changed if he didn't hit the post at Barcelona.
No, Niang was too busy jumping off a roof into a pool. That's his
remember
issue.
that? Remember that? No,
or how he told the police officer once he got pulled over that he was
someone else.
Oh my god, what's his name?
Somebody else. Oh my god, that was peak
Traore.
Oh my god, dude, that was
during the Milanello Twitter account.
I want to look up. Yeah, Milanello was a legend. He was a legend at that Twitter account. Honestly, I wonder where he is now. But he was great in the Bent, especially in the really dark Bent era. I'm looking up on
point, Alan. That's a good point. I'm scared of that happening too. I think Leao definitely has a lot more skill, promise, potential, hype, all those kind of things. But
good rapper too.
And shut up, he's terrible.
He's decent. He's decent.
Better than what's the other guy? Who was the other rapper, Luca, that you mentioned?
Oh, he's
Golini. He's better than Golini.
yeah, it's Golini. He's no, I actually don't mind Golini too. He's actually not that bad.
No, Leao is better than Golini.
Leao's decent, and so is Piergolo. His name is Golorius.
Oh God.
And just that, and Newt says that should fly and meet a belly of Gino so he can slap his head on the press conference again. Remember that?
Yeah.
You guys remember when Donnaruma's account got hacked and he tweeted, I got a hackeraggio su mio account, chiudo social. Remember that? Hackeraggio.
Caraggio sul mio social.
Mio account, chiudo social, he said. Man, talking about those times is actually like it's hilarious, but also sad at the same time. Really, you think no wonder Juve won 9 Scudetti in a row. They figured they're against a bunch of clown show management everywhere. Like
Yeah, they're
Inter,
facing
like,
Italians.
even Inter, like what the heck were they doing? They had the potential to potenza di Soning or whatever the hell they freaking
Here's
said.
terrible.
Potenza di suoning.
Potenza.
Quali soldi?
Hey, remember that one guy? And I think it was Dubai. We are so rich. But
We are
was
so
it Dubai?
Hashtag we are so rich.
Hashtag. No, this is a good. Honestly, every time we always say, you know what, 40 minutes. It always turns to over an hour.
Yeah, I messaged you saying
I
max
know,
45 minutes.
Yeah, but you know what? Though when you start,
But
when you
it's
get
vibes.
talking,
It's warranted.
no, it's warranted.
Vibes.
Honestly, guys, I had a really good. I thought it was a really good discussion, really good chat. I want to say thanks to Andrew, Newt, Mark, Alan. I want to say thanks to them because they asked, like, you know what? There were some great questions
As
today.
well.
Yeah. Wait, who? Carr?
Simon
Yeah,
Carr.
I like Simon Carr.
Kier and Carr and whatever.
I like Simon Carr and Roman Rowley.
And Chalhagoglu.
Chalalogo.
Honestly, Marco, just stick with Hakan. Just say Hakan or Simon.
Simon. Yeah, Simon.
Simon.
Says Simon.
Or just say kebab.
No, but in all seriousness though, and I don't know if you guys follow Hakan on Instagram, but man, whoever his photographer is, like whoever gets the pictures, they're always fresh. I don't know if you notice the quality of the photo.
He's on the wrong thing.
He's worried about the wrong thing, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
Mark,
Mark with the dead emoji.
Dad.
Okay, you know what? It's dinner time here in Eastern Time Zone, so we'll wrap things up. I want to say thanks to everybody who tuned in, and thanks to everybody who's going to tune in, not live on Apple Podcasts. Just some TMG news. We officially launched our website earlier today before the match. It's linked in our bios on Instagram, Twitter. Please go check it out. It has everything. It has our podcast links. It has all of our alternative commentary videos are going to be on there. It has a little bit about us, and also too, if you ever want to write for us, we kind of made like an open blog kind of thing. So if you want to write for us, write an article, opinion editorial, you let us know. You contact us. There's a contact thing in the website. You let us know. You write it. We'll post it. It's kind of a good thing to keep it engaging in Milanisti. So if you're ever interested in that, toss us a DM on Twitter, on Instagram, or on the website. We're also on LinkedIn as well. So to Marco, Umbi, and Mike, it was really good chat. I'm looking forward to when we do it again in a couple of weeks before the
100%.
I'm looking forward to more Romagnoli slander. I've been looking forward to this ever since September.
Umbi, you're brutal.
You've been on that.
Okay.
I've been on that. You guys have been Luke has been defending him. Il nostro capitano, our capitano.
Capitano, c'è solo un capitano.
We spit on face of people that don't respect Milan.
Simon Carr.
Carr.
Hakan Chanalogu.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Forza Milan, and we'll see you next episode. Ciao, guys.
GG's, boys.